Going to the proctor and we're gonna take a test. But let's start with what happens after you're already in the HonorLock proctoring system and some of the main questions people ask. So here we are in the exam. I've already lost a chunk of time. See this blue bar? That's how much time we have, and it's drained because it takes forever to make these videos. If that bugs you, you can click on it and it'll collapse it to where it's only the blue bar. You don't actually see the time. The blue bar turns red when you're down to the last, I think it's 5 or 10 minutes, just to add to your stress.
Now listen carefully. There's not enough time to repeat anything.
Okay, down here is a description, and you'll see some things like submit answers frequently, and you can open the distribution applet. Let's scroll down to a question where that, oh, here we go, distribution applet. So you click there and it opens it up. Is it possible for Chrome to block a pop-up? Yes, that can happen. What you do if that happens is you right-click on it, and you can save the link, and then open up a new tab, and put that link in there, and that way Chrome doesn't see it as you're trying to get a pop-up ad, and then you can pop that up right there. Okay, what happens when we answer questions? Well, you know, I don't know, bunch of random numbers. That is definitely not the answer. Click submit, and there. Notice it doesn't say whether it's right or wrong. I don't get that green check or the red X, which you don't think that's a big deal. It absolutely is. It's going to bug you. But at least down here, there's a little thing. This question was submitted. I actually coded that in myself, is how I did that. Now, can I put in answers for all these questions and then not click submit until I go down here? You can do that. The problem is, what if the power cuts out? There's no way for me to magically know what you typed in there. If you click submit, then it goes to WebAssign. And all the submit buttons always do the same thing. So clicking this submit button is actually the same as clicking that submit button. It saves everything you've done. So what do you do when you're all done with the test? Well, click submit one more time, just because psychologically you're probably going to need that, and then you're done. You can click out of the tab and tell HonorLock you're done and click the little uninstall HonorLock button. That's how it works. I wish in WebAssign that they had a button that says submit assignment and I'm all done with it, but that's just not the way it works.
Are we done here?
Here's some other very common questions people have during the exam. What about rounding? Are you supposed to round partway through, or are you supposed to keep all the decimals and round towards the end? I'm hoping rounding is not the goal of the class. I mean, chemistry and physics, those are the ones that care about the rounding. So go ahead and do some reasonable rounding if it says 2 decimal places. If you carry more decimal places, you won't get marked wrong. What it means when it says 2 decimal places is that you need to be within 0.01 of the correct answer. If at the end of the exam you feel like you lost points just because it was rounding, let me know and we'll try to figure out what the right thing to do is. I've had students claim something was rounding, and I'm looking at the answer where it was supposed to be 3 and they put 4.7. It's like, Now that being said, there is a type of question that we will get to in later homeworks called sample size calculations. There, the rounding really does matter, and we'll emphasize that because it matters. You may also notice every exam has a funny question. Those you get the points for no matter what you put in there. It's just an opportunity to have some fun, and hopefully it'll cause a little less stress. Up at the top, you don't get to see the points. You will be able to see the points after everyone's taken the exam. Then everyone gets to see their score. And yes, I encourage you to go back through your exam, make sure that you feel like it was graded correctly. But you are going to have to wait until the deadline for the exam to find out how well you did. That's just the only way that I have to try to guard the exam. Here's another important question. This one's asking for a probability, and your first step is to calculate a z-score and then the probability for the z-score. If you mess up on here, does that mean that you totally bombed the entire question? The answer is no. First off, there is some partial credit allowed. For example, if your z-score was negative instead of positive, you'll get some points, not full points, obviously, because that was part of it. And then the next piece, because it relies on the previous one, the answer key will change to use your z-score. So that's a way for me to give points for the probability, because it was done right based off the z-score. It's the z-score that was wrong, so you lose points only there. I'm trying to give you as many points as I can for the stuff that you've got right. Okay, that should be what you need to know for this exam. If you have any questions or issues, let me know, and good luck.